Hello friends, my name is Aaron Ciotti, everybody calls me Ciotti. Welcome to Sunday Things. Sunday, I don't know, what did I call this? What did I call this stream? Editing Cinema, I didn't have a real name for it. In the chat, Bozadar Reyes was first, Apache Smoke, Wooden Sniper was next, Terry Burnett, Chomper FPV, Northern Tier, Glowstick Spinning, Glenn Burnett, Danzel the Terrible, Ed K, CH3, Captain Zaspin, Adam CFPV, CMYK, and I think I got everybody. Welcome, friends. This is a Q&A live stream. Ask any questions that you've got. We are going to tiny whoop the house a little bit with our 0702 Ultimate Freestyle Tiny Whoop. I've got a few batteries charged for this. The other thing that we're gonna so we're gonna work on some editing stuff. Although I forgot to put, I wanted to put some of this footage through Real Steady Go, but I forgot like a dummy. One of the other cool things we're gonna do today, though, is we're gonna look at the available. I can only really find 3 at this point. The 3 available tiny lifter camera options. the NBD BeeEye that they all come with, which is the weakest. And then this guy has that 199C camera, version 2.0. And then this guy has the Caddx Ant Lite. I got a couple batteries on the charger. One of these is PH 2.0. This one is still PH 2.0. So I got a couple batteries on the charger for this one. And then I've got BT 2.0 batteries charged for these two. We'll fire them up. I'll put the VRX on, which I did remember to unplug last stream. We can take a look at these three cameras head to head to head inside here in low light. And then since this is a daytime stream, I can point them out the door at the backyard, and we'll see what they look like during the day. That's what I'm most kind of interested in. These tiny lifters are not really for flying in like low light indoor kind of situations. They're more for flying outside. So yeah, that should be fun. Caddx Ant Lite's probably gonna, I mean, the 199C V2.0 camera you can't really buy. I haven't been able to find anywhere to buy it. So the Caddx Ant Lite is kind of your only choice. For anybody that, so yeah, our Wednesday stream was, excuse me, our Wednesday stream was rudely interrupted by a flood. For anybody that didn't, well, I wasn't able to show you guys the end of that, and the end of that stream was supposed to be how to get your Caddx Ant Lite to fit in the Goober canopy. I was gonna do it live. I ended up doing it last night. It's not bad. I showed you guys how to take the little connectors off so that it becomes just a flat-backed board camera. You're then just gonna solder down. You can actually buy the NBD yellow, black, red camera connectors, just bare from their website. So that's what you would want to do. You would just buy it, and then you're gonna flat solder it to the back of the camera, and then there's tons of room, and it becomes just plug and play to the NBD Acro B V3 or 2 or 1 board, and away you go. There really wasn't much. Okay, so there was something else that had to happen. The Caddx Ant Lite, it will not sit as far forward in the Goober canopy. So because it sits a little bit farther back, the TPU Insta360 Go2 loop thing also has to sit one set of holes back. There are 6 holes on the top of the Goober canopy. Usually you mount this guy on the front set of holes, but yeah, in this case you have to move it back one set of holes. What that does is it actually gives the Insta360 Go2 a little bit more up tilt, which I don't love because this is like a cinewhoop type rig, but there's kind of no other way. I guess the other option would be to cut. There's like a strap that goes under the canopy with this piece. Here, let me show you. This TPU Insta360 Go2 holder is one big piece like this, and the strap is the problem. If you were to cut this strap and just have these two outer bits, then you'd be totally fine. Although no, never mind. It's the screws. The screws would touch the board camera and short things out on the board camera. So yeah, even cutting the strap won't work. Sorry, I forgot about that. So yeah, if you're gonna do the Caddx Ant Lite, it's looking like. I mean, I guess the easiest solution would be, and I'll probably do this. I'll get in touch with. It's in my Discord messages. I forget who it was offhand, but I'll get in touch with whoever created or modified this. This is a newbie drone design from the Insta360 Go, the first one, and then one of our beautiful people here in chat modified it to work with the Insta360 Go2. I will look up in my Discord messages who that was and bug them to take this and drop the angle down a little bit. You can't go too far down because then you start to get the ducts in view quite a bit. So like this is the standard mounting. Here, I'll show them to you both. I'll try to hold them as flat as possible. So yeah, standard mounting is red, and then the little bit extra up tilt is the black one. And man, it's subtle. Like it's hard for you guys to kind of see it, but I'm eyeballing it, and it is pretty subtle. Another way to think about it is that this is your high speed tiny lifter, and then this is your low speed cinelifter. Tiny lifter, rather. In the chat, if you want to talk directly to me, all you gotta do is type CiottiFPV. If you do that, it'll light up an orange like this, and I'll know that you're talking to me. This is my full-time job. I don't know what's been going on, but every month, Patreon's been going down by about $100. That's been going on since August. So, starting to panic a little bit, if I'm honest. So, if you've got a few dollars a month, hop on over to CiottiFPV.com, click the, that's fine. Thank you, though, Jason. Click the Patreon button and give me 10 cents a day. I swear to God, you're going to love my Patreon. There's all kinds of great stuff on there. You're going to get full access to the Discord channel. You're going to get access to a YouTube playlist with like 90-something unreleased videos, Patreon-only live streams, half-done edits, sketchy flying that I don't really want public. You're going to get invited to a couple of different Facebook groups, and you're going to get the undying love of a gangly bastard. So do it, and I'll keep these things going. I would love to not have to get a real job in 2023. I would love to keep doing this full time, but something's got to give. I gotta figure out a way to get the downward trend going. At least flatten. I at least need to flatten out. Realistically, I need to kick it up a little bit. Speaking of new patrons, we've got a couple. Louis Hurtado, welcome to the Gangly Gang, my friend. Who else? I thought there was another one. Yes, Michael Jones, welcome to the Gangly Gang as well, my friend. Thank you very much for your generous Patreon tier joinage. And I think I just saw something in here. John Hickey with a $50 PayPal. Thank you, brother. Holy crap. Hey, if you guys want to do a super chat, that's fine. Just understand that YouTube / Google is going to take 30% of your super chat. If you don't want that to happen, CiottiFPV.com has a PayPal button, and then you can leave a note and just tag me in the chat. Say at CiottiFPV. Check your PayPal. John Hickey says, just wanted to say thank you for all your content. I'm a patron member. I've been watching for about a year and just recently was able to replace the AIO board on a Baby Hawk 2 because of all the info I learned watching your channel. Thank you, John. That is very, very cool. Yeah, you guys really like keep me motivated and keep me going with awesome messages like this. So yeah, thank you for the incredible generosity. Merry Christmas to me for sure. But also thanks for saying that, man. That's very, very cool. It's sounds weird, but it's like my honor to teach you guys this stuff and have you be able to go out and do hard things, you know, like this shit's hard. Like, think about when you talk to normies about what you do and like repairing stuff, and the look of their eyes of like, it's part like, I don't understand what the hell is this person saying, but it's also part like, you fix things. I didn't think we could fix things anymore. I thought we just threw things away and bought new things. Isn't that the way the world works in 2022? Like, I've explained this hobby to people, and I've literally had them be like, how do you do that? Like, they can't get past, like, you mean you build this? Like, not even a tiny whoop, like a 5-inch rig. I'll show, and they'll be like, you built this? Like, you built it? Wait a second. You built it? Wait. You mean like, here's one. You mean like, you did this? It's just, and I'm always amazed that they can't wrap their head around it, but this shit's hard, man. This is hard, and it's very cool that you guys learn anything. No, it's very cool that you guys are here to, like, we have a unique group too, right? Like, a lot of you guys want to not just build these things, not just troubleshoot them, right? But like refine them and get them to fly better and build them better and be able to repair them easier, and that's, you know, that's like the juice for me, right? I gotta I love to kind of think of myself as like FPV 102, where, like, you know, I'm not the best at, like, I can't get this thing to bind and I don't know why. There's tons of YouTube content and forum posts for that and Facebook group posts for that. I really love being like the guy that can come in and like, okay, you're kind of good to go on the technical side. Let's get it working a little bit better. Let's get your motor and prop combo a little bit paired better. Let's figure out which of the 3-inch frames for freestyle is the actual best. Like, that's really cool. Unfortunately, it's like a niche within a niche within a niche, right? Which kind of explains why it tends to be harder for me to kind of grow this channel than most, right? Like, the winning formula to do what I'm doing is just to do product reviews and just spam your affiliate link, right? And there's nothing wrong with that. Like, you know, I'm not using the word spam there as like a negative. That's not really what I'm into. I don't enjoy doing that. And there's plenty of other people that do that. So I don't just want to, like, be another person that's just kind of doing that same thing. And there's also people that do it much better than me, right? So, yeah, this is a very unique thing that we're doing. But yeah, it's a niche within a niche. So within a niche within a niche. And that can be a little bit hard. But as she said. In the chat, folks that have tagged me so far, Apache Smoke Wound Slipper says, good evening, CiottiFPV, how are you doing? And hello, Gangly Gang, how's everybody doing this Sunday morning, afternoon, and evening? Good morning, good afternoon, and good night. If I don't see you, good morning, good afternoon, and good night. What movie is that from? You guys will know that. Chomper FPV says, hope you guys have a good stream. I'm at a red light on the way to fly. And then I think I saw that Chomper left his batteries at home. Denzel the Turbo says, hello from the Great White North. Ed K says, happy Sunday. Adam C says, hello everyone, and hello CiottiFPV. CMYK says, dude, that's all tiny lifter footage? No. Beginning of the stream was not tiny lifter footage. It was regular old cinewhoop footage. I only flew one battery with the tiny lifter. Which one was it? It was this one. Over on Instagram, there is a quick edit that I did with tiny lifter footage. Quick little 1-minute edit. It's almost a one-shot. And I do have a YouTube edit coming. So Instagram kind of mangles the footage. But go check it out. It's pretty dope. I do have a full YouTube edit coming so that you can really see the Insta360 Go2 in, like, pretty ideal lighting. With these tiny little lightweight cameras with tiny little sensors, ideal lighting tends to be, like, not very contrasty. They struggle a little bit with, like, deep dark shadows and then bright highlights. There was some of that going on here. It wasn't that bad though, because the sun was still up pretty good in the sky. If I'd waited longer for the sun to come down lower, it would have been much worse. So in terms of, like, trying to get long shadows and, like, really gorgeous footage with an Insta360 Go2, this particular time of day, which is like half an hour before golden hour, basically, like, Insta360 Go2, you don't want the sun to be really low on the horizon. You want the sun to be up on the horizon a little bit. If it's up too high, you lose the long shadows, and it's just, everything looks kind of flat and two-dimensional. But yeah, there's kind of like a sweet spot. Like, if you go out, so sunset is what, like 5:30 right now? So if you go out and you get to the fly spot at like 4 o'clock, fly all your small camera stuff before the sun really gets down low, and you'll be a lot happier with the results. Do I have boogers? I think I'm good. But yeah, so that's super fun. I posted a Dropbox link to a like first pass basically of the YouTube edit. I guess I could play it here. I'm not gonna play the music to it here, but I'll leave the slip slap up. Yeah, you're not gonna get any music, but yeah, I mean, you can see like the darks are kind of dark, although this monitor over here that I'm looking at this playback on is kind of dark. So see where the sun is? That's really where you want the sun to be for any of these small sensor cameras. I'm really happy with this, man. There's no jello whatsoever. The rig was flying great. This is the tiny lifter on the Beta FPV 1102 18,000 kV motors that are motor limited down to like 60%, maybe 70%, on the Gemfan 1.6 inch biblades, BT 2.0, Express LRS, external Express LRS, Happy Model EP2 sitting in there. The main weak point though was the camera, the Goober Cam, the Newbie Drone Goober Canopy with the BeeEye camera. It's just very blurry. Like, it's just really hard to see where you're going. I was basically flying through this tree on like, ooh, that looks like a gap, let me go towards it. It was really, really difficult. So that's why I'm playing around with some different cameras on these tiny lifters. I've known that for a little while, but man, like, I've really started to notice it lately, how bad the BeeEye cameras are. I mean, they're not terrible, but they're just like cloudy. It's just fuzzy. The resolution is just not there. It's analog, so I mean, it like the resolution kind of isn't there on any of the cameras, but yeah, I definitely noticed it on this particular day. So yeah, we're gonna have a better camera solution in a minute. It's totally flyable. You know, I got this footage. This is pretty amazing. Once you get close to stuff, you can kind of sort of see it, and you're flying very slowly. So yeah, this was some pretty intricate flying, and it was doable. But yeah, I definitely noticed, like, yo, this camera is not up to par. I've been flying these freestyle tiny whoops with the Runcam Nano 3s, and I think that, like, that is what I expect now. I expect the level of clarity that I get from the Runcam Nano 3, and the BeeEye camera is just not. It's not that. So let's try to find something that is that. Maggie and my parents hanging out. So yeah, there you guys go. You can watch the you can watch a 4K version of that over on the Discord in General Nonsense. It's a Dropbox link because it's just like a first rough draft, but yeah, you can check it out if you want to see what the Insta360 Go2 can do. That has been put through Premiere. It has been color graded. It's just been post-processed. And that's about it. Pretty light kind of settings. Pushed a tiny little bit of sharpening in, some vibrance, some saturation, and then just adjusted the exposure, contrast, blacks, whites, shadows, and highlights. Very simple stuff. Move the sliders around until it looks better, and there you go. But we're going to hit on that today once we dive into Premiere, and I'm going to show you how I color grade. I use color grade in air quotes because it's just a weird. 99% of the people that color grade their footage don't actually color grade their footage. Color grading is like diving really deep into the footage and really putting a ton of time in. Adjusting the basic settings, I don't consider to be color grading. That's just editing footage. That's just making exposure corrections or exposure adjustments. But you know, everybody likes to say the things that the professionals say. So if I don't say color grading, people won't understand what I mean. All right, let me get caught up on chat here real quick. Danzo the Terrible says, I missed the flood stream. Everything okay at Shea Gangles? It is, yeah. It caught it really, really early. So just annoying. I'm starting to kind of put the room back together already. Morton Upshot says, how many degrees less up tilt do you think you want? 5 to 10 degrees. Yeah, probably. It looks like having it mounted in the rear set of holes has added like almost exactly that, 5 or 10 degrees extra. It's tough because we don't want to go down too far, because then we'll start picking up the frame in view. So it's tough. But yeah, like 5, maybe 10 less. That would be dope. Morton, you didn't happen to be the one that did the you didn't design these, did you? Not design, but modify the newbie drone design, did you? Trying to remember who it was that did it. Robert Rosser says, yo, CiottiFPV and community. What's up, homie? Bobby Bag says, hey. Looks like we're caught up. Truman Show, there it is. Good call, Robert. All right, so what are we doing first? We editing first? We flying tiny whoops first? Let's fly tiny whoops first. Well, no. Let's check these cameras out first. If I start banging away on the tiny whoop, I'm gonna burn through all the batteries, and then I'm not gonna have batteries to check these cameras out. So I'm gonna plug them in from worst to best. What I'm assuming is gonna be worst to best. So it's gonna be newbie drone BeeEye camera first. Then it's going to be 199C V2.0 camera. Then it's going to be Caddx Ant Lite. The Caddx Ant Lite, I think, is on the default settings. And from what I remember, it's not going to look good in low light. This room right now I'm actually going to turn some more lights on in here, because it's absurdly low light in this room right now. So hold on. Let's go to basement daylight. All right, so that's a lot brighter in here. It's still fairly low light in here. It's standard like inside the house lighting in this room right now. So yeah, let's plug these guys in worst to best in the house here, and then I'll point them out the back door. And I'm just gonna scream, and the microphone will kind of pick me up, but it'll be a little bit echoey. I'm sure you guys will live. So here we go. We got BT 2.0, and then we got some PH 2.0. I gotta get this one rig moved over to BT 2. Actually, this is really just for testing. There's kind of no reason to have 3 of these things. I could probably tear this down and just have it be spare parts. So I'm probably not going to move it to BT 2.0. But here we go. All right, so I'm going to put these all on top of the this little lamp that I have over here. And that way they're sitting in the same spot, and we can get the best possible representation of, like, yeah, looking at the same stuff. So the big thing that I want you guys to look for is just like, pretend you're gonna fly through a gap. This is how I always evaluate cameras. The only thing I really care about is I pretend like I'm about to fly through a gap in the image, and I just like focus on how, like, what can I see? Like, how much can I see? So good Lord, that looks bad. I think this is going to be a very obvious comparison here. I don't think we're going to have to struggle to see which of these cameras is better. So yeah, like I would say, like maybe over here, like pretend like you're about to shoot that gap, right? It's pretty hard to see. Like it's pretty hard to see any detail over here to be able to then fly through it. All right, so there's the newbie drone BeeEye camera. Here comes the 199C V2 camera that I don't know if you can buy anymore. Oddly enough, you can buy the V1 version of this cam. These are all on the same exact AIO with the same exact VTX built in, so I'm out of this camera. I'm upside down. God damn it. All right. Well, so this is the 199C V2 camera. Much wider field of view. Jesus. Much, much, much wider field of view on this camera. That is drastic. That might be the difference between the V2 and the V1 of the 199C. I'm not sure about that, but yeah, wow, really, really, really wide field of view on this 199C. Bob says that on his website about this camera. I can't believe I mounted it in there upside down. What a dummy. I had it mounted apparently right side up, and I looked at it, I was like, nah, there's no way those wires come out on the bottom. They go out on the top. And I was wrongs. All right, and now this is the Caddx Ant Lite. Oh my God, it looks terrible. Yeah, this camera inside is not good. Hold on, let me clean the lens. This is not a great indoor camera from what I've seen. All right, that should be a little bit better. Field of view is, I guess, sort of somewhere in between of those two. All right. Yeah, I don't care if a camera like looks good. I don't care if it has a lot of contrast. I care about, can I see a gap over here to then fly through it. So there you go. There's all those three in like low light scenarios. Let me go point these out the back door, and we'll see what they look like. And this is, I think, where the Caddx Ant will come into its own. So I'm now not going to have like a viewfinder to look through because I can't see the monitor from here, but I'm going to do my best to kind of point these in the same direction. Here comes the BeeEye first, and I'm going to do this through the glass. Actually, I can put this down here in the middle of the bottom. No, let's not do the bottom pane. Let's do the middle pane of glass, and I can line the frame up on the bottom, and then I can just rotate up and down for you guys. All right, so that's the newbie drone BeeEye. I'm gonna need you guys to tell me which one's best after this in chat. All right, so that's the BeeEye. Here comes the 199C. I'm gonna have to hold this thing upside down. Hold on a second. So yeah, this one I'm not gonna get it exactly right, but let's see here. Okay, so I guess maybe that is a decent representation. And point it up, point it down. So this one should be horrendously wider. But also, again, like look in between the trees and pretend like you're gonna shoot a gap that's coming up. That's what I want to know. I don't care about like the experience that I have in the goggles. I care about being able to see where I'm going and not not crashing basically. And now we've got the Caddx Ant Lite, which should look awesome. I guess I could have just brought my goggles over here. But here's the Caddx Ant Lite, and then I'm gonna plug the newbie drone camera in after this, so that you get a direct head-to-head. Because this is the current camera that you can buy, and the BeeEye you can also currently buy. All right, so there's the Caddx Ant Lite looking outside. Here comes the newbie drone BeeEye. There you go. Is the Ant Lite significantly better? What about the field of view? Is the Caddx Ant Lite field of view a little bit wider? It seemed to be a little bit wider when we were doing when I was looking across the room inside. But you guys tell me. I don't necessarily love the idea of a wider field of view with these cameras, because like the majority of what we're doing is trying to shoot little gaps with these. Having less field of view is going to give us more detail farther forward. The Newbie drone camera is wider. Oh, interesting. Number 2 seems the best. That sucks because you can't buy it. Talk to me, chat. Tell me the differences that you saw. I didn't get to see. Can I rewind my own stream? I guess I can rewind my own stream, right? Hold on. Let me go to this live stream on the internet, and I'm going to rewind it. This is going to be weird. But I really want to see this. So, okay. We'll go full inception. All right, so this is the NBD BeeEye. Good God, look how bad it looks. Like, look how, it's just a bundled mess. It's just yucky, yuck bags. All right, so there's the BeeEye. And then this is the 199. Man, it is not much better, is it? This is the 199. And then this is the Caddx Ant. The Caddx Ant, why is it flickering like that? Why is it flickering like that? That's weird. And then back. Jesus, the Caddx Ant looks terrible. What is happening? Why does it look so bad? What? Bueller? Why is it... What's happening? Is it just me, or does it look absolutely awful? I have not looked through the... I've not looked through the goggles with it yet. Is it maybe better in the goggles or something? The window is filthy. But I was putting them in the exact same spot, so they should have all dealt with the filthy window in the same way. And I mean, the window's not that filthy. If one of them's having a harder time with the window being filthy, what that means is that it's front focused. Yeah, no, the Caddx Ant light looks great in the goggles. I gotta be honest. Noticeably better in the goggles. Hold on, let me see. Than the NBD BeeEye. Man, that's weird. Why does it look so much better in the goggles? And it's not doing that flickering thing either. Yeah, the Caddx Ant light looks really nice in the goggles. Hold on. Let me plug the NBD BeeEye in. Let's see here. Okay, so let me hold this up. And all right, so if I was going to shoot the gap there, I can clearly see it. All right, so I can clearly see that gap, which is like the bottom of my sim rig. All right, now I'm going to pull this, and I'm going to hook up the BeeEye, and let's see. Yeah, see, I can't even see that gap. It's just one big blurry mess. Yeah, all right, so that's across the room. Up close, so it could be a focal, it could be a focus issue. So up close, when I hold my hand here, coexist on my toolbox is just one big blur. Why am I not doing this? I can show you guys what I'm looking at. So coexist through the goggles is just one big blur. I can't see any details on any of the letters. This is checking like the up close focus. Up close performance, I should say. And then the Caddx Ant light, if I put my hand in the same spot, it's a little bit better. It's ever so slightly better. Not much better, but across the room, see down here in the bottom of the sim rig, I can see the straps. So if I was going to shoot the tightest gap in the sim rig down the bottom here, I would be able to start to figure that out because I can see these horizontal little strappy boys. This is with the Caddx Ant. Versus the Newbie Drone Goober canopy, or camera, the BeeEye camera, rather. When I look over there, see it's just a big blurry mess? Like there's no definition whatsoever. And that's the problem that I have with this camera, is there's just, like from far away, there is no definition. If I start walking closer, let's play the walking game. Walk through FPV. God, it's dizzying. How close do I have to walk to the, oh God, oh Christ. How close do I have to walk before I can actually see those straps? Yeah, see, I can see the straps now. And when I back up, they just kind of disappear. None of these, none of the lenses on these cameras give you the ability to focus them, which is kind of annoying. They're all like glued down in place. You can sit there for hours and chip away at the glue. Sometimes you ruin the lens. Realistically, they're just not focusable. So, yeah, what I think is going on, my guess would be that the BeeEye is a little bit more what's called front focused. The focus is set a little bit closer. And then the Caddx Ant, the focal point is set a little bit farther away. That is done by literally spinning the lens, but you know, these manufacturers then glue the shit out of the lenses. So it's almost like a decision that happens at the factory. That would kind of make sense. I mean, that might be a random thing, but that would actually make sense. Newbie Drone is all about newbies. You know, I've asked them to do certain things before, and they're like, we can't do that. You know, we cater to newbies. Thus the name Newbie Drone. So a newbie is going to be flying slower and inside the house and whatnot, and that's where you would kind of want the closer focal distance. Whereas the Caddx Ant is made for like all different rigs, and the BeeEye camera is also kind of only made for tiny whoops. The Caddx Ant Lite is made for like toothpicks and tiny whoops and a little bit of everything. So you would want to have that focal point set a little bit farther away because you're going faster. Right? The faster you're going, the farther forward you want to be in focus. Also, with the let's also do this with the Caddx Ant Lite. I put a little plug header for the little remote control. Let's see if we can get it looking a little bit better real quick here, because there are a ton of settings, and for all I know, I may have already been monkeying around with the settings and I might have changed something in there. I don't think I did. I had this camera on the Mobula 7 for a little bit, so there's a chance I was in there screwing around with the settings. Let's take a quick look. Let's just fire it up and we'll get in there. And I don't have a Caddx remote. This is a Foxeer remote, so it's going to act a little funny. But yeah, let's just take a look here and see if we can get it looking a little bit better. Maybe just bump up the sharpening. We'll see. I feel like it needs a little more contrast too. So let's see if we can get that figured out. Or maybe I wired the thing up wrong and the remote's not going to work. Farts. I looked up the wiring diagram. I swear to God I did. White on top, black on bottom. God damn it, Larry. I'm not going to pull it apart. It is very annoying to pull this apart. Let me try a different little controller. This is now a Runcam controller. Let's try this. Come on now. Really? Don't do me like this. Please just work. No. I either wired the plug up backwards or, I don't know, maybe it's just angry. Isn't there, come on, man, really? I don't know. Here's what I'll say. Through the goggles, the, Ken Aaron's in the chat. What's up, Ken? How are you, man? Yeah, what the hell? Hold on. Let me take a quick look. Caddx Ant light wiring. And I did wire it backwards. Damn it! The wiring diagram that I had said that I was looking at yesterday said that ground for this was on the left, not on the right. Oh, man. The reason I'm not taking this apart is because it was really difficult to get the camera in there. Oh man, that's super annoying. God damn it. So this is the wiring diagram that I was looking at yesterday, and see, it tells you that this right pin is the data pin, meaning that the left pin is the ground pin, and that is incorrect. So yeah, when you're looking for wiring diagrams, don't just look at one. Look at like 2 or 3 of them and make sure that you go with the wiring diagram that repeats itself. See, there's 3. I didn't put the word wiring in my search yesterday, so I didn't get these results. I only got this result, and I was like, oh, I'm sure it'll be right. I'm sure it'll be right. I wish that would play properly. Let's try it again. I guess it just doesn't play correctly the first time. Oh, boy, is that annoying. I went through the trouble of putting the plug header there. So yeah, there you go. Caddx Ant Lite, in my opinion, through the goggles, is significantly better than the BeeEye camera. It doesn't fit in the canopy quite as good, so it's not a total free lunch. And the BeeEye camera is not that bad, but yeah, I think the Caddx Ant Lite with some adjusting might be the hot ticket. Although I gotta be honest, the 199C looked pretty good. I'm wondering if the 199C version 1.0, which you can buy, so on Kebab's website, it says that the 199C version 2.0 is a very wide-angle version of the 231, the OV231 camera. We're getting the weeds now, yo. So that makes me wonder, and so if we go on YouTube here and we search for 199C version 1.0 camera, we can find it, and it's for sale. It's even on Amazon, I think. So here's the listing for the V2.0. But yeah, LDARC 199C, and then it's also on LDARC's website. But I mean, you would just buy it on Amazon, 18 bucks. So yeah, now I'm very curious about this guy. Let's make sure that the measurements are the same. So we got 14 by 12.2. I have one of these BeeEye cameras floating around. Where the hell is it? All right, let's check this. This is kind of important. Oh no, this is the OV231. This one does not fit. Here it is. Here's the BeeEye camera. Okay. Do I have a little? I don't need calipers. I'll just use a little shitty ruler. Oh god, everything is exploding. Ah! Come on. Where's that little tape measure? Here it is. So what are we looking at? 12 by 14. This is millimeters. What do we got here? The BeeEye camera is 14 by... Oh, look at that. It's 14 by 14. Is that right? 14 by 14. I'll be damned. Does Rugi have the measurements of the V2? Let's take a look. Yeah, 12 by 4. Okay, interesting. Yeah, so if this is 12 by 14, then the V1 will also fit. So yeah, the V1 should fit for 18 bucks. It'd be on the wish list. It'll get ordered at some point. Yeah, so maybe this is a slightly less field of view. I doubt that we're going to get any actual info from this listing about field of view. No, not to mention that, like, the when they give a spec on field of view, it's commonly wrong. Oh, God, look at the delivery time, though. From December 29th to January 23rd. Oh, wait, here we go. Fastest delivery, December 13th to 16th. That's much more realistic. Okay, well, that was a worthless thing to click on. But yeah, there you guys go. So maybe that's another good option for you. But I think the Caddx Ant Lite looks pretty damn good. I didn't think that the 199 looked all that much better to go through all that hassle when you can just snag a Caddx Ant Lite from kind of anywhere. So yeah, there you guys go. I'm actually kind of surprised. I thought that they were going to be way better than the BeeEye cameras, but they're not that much better. Let's compare them to the Let's compare them to the Runcam Nano 3. And I'm going to do a totally unfair comparison. I'm going to compare it to the discontinued really good Runcam Nano 3. This will really show you how kind of bad the BeeEye camera looks. I hope. Or maybe it'll reset my expectations and they're all garbage. Here's the newbie drone BeeEye. And we're just going to use the sim rig as the little gap in the bottom of the sim rig as the litmus test. Let me take this and this. All right, so I'm going to go over to the couch this time to make the situation a little bit easier. So I'm going to put this kind of on the middle of the couch. So yeah, the bottom, there's a triangle in the bottom of the sim rig. Imagine you're trying to shoot the gap in that little triangle in the bottom of the sim rig. This is the newbie drone BeeEye camera, and now here comes the really good version of the Runcam Nano 3. Cool? I have a feeling. I have to see it myself. I have to come over and look. Yeah, see? Look at that. Look how, like, you can totally line that gap up and shoot it. You can see both sides of the triangle versus... I'm going to go back to the newbie drone BeeEye, and I'm going to put the quad in the exact same spot, which is right there. And now I'm going to come back and look. And yeah, see, it's just a big goddamn blurry mess. Like, that's, wow. Okay, yeah, so that's why I'm so sensitive to this, because I've really gotten used to the Runcam Nano 3. Jesus. Okay, so that's it's a shame that the Runcam Nano 3 board is so big. Like, there's no way in hell to get the Nano 3 into the Goober canopy without just massacring the Goober canopy. And I'm not playing that game. I'm not doing that. Again, admittedly, that was not a fair test, because this camera, this Runcam Nano 3 that you just looked through, is the previous version of it that has apparently a better lens that they discontinued like a year ago, and you can't get anymore. The new version of this Runcam Nano 3 is still really good, but it's not quite as good as this one. But I wanted to kind of illustrate to you guys the problem with the newbie drone BeeEye camera, and why I went down this rabbit hole to try to get it fixed. Let me get caught up on chat, and then I'm gonna set a couple of cubes up upstairs, and we're gonna rip a couple of ultimate freestyle tiny whoop batteries, and then we'll do some editing. Gamagonad says they all suck, but number 2 is slightly better. I do run the BeeEye and the Ant Lite. I just deal with the crap video. It's analog. Yeah. Brandon's Baked Bean says Ant needs to be focused. Unfortunately, you can't. They glue the shit out of the lens. Yeah, it's very. I really wish that they didn't, because they can just put the little focusing ring on there, and then they don't need to worry about it backing off. Yeah, and like they glue all the way around the lens, and they use glue that. Oh, they use like this weird glue, man. It's like really smooth, and it's like all up in there. Hold on, let me try something super quick. Let me just grab the lens and see if it'll turn. A pair of pliers. Nah. Yeah, they glued the lens down. That's stupid, man. Very, very short-sighted of them, but they kind of all do it. So Gamagonad says I personally prefer the Ant Lite. I cannot stand too wide of a field of view. I've changed many cameras to the Ant cameras for that very reason. Morton Upshot says I still think the Ant lens is dirty. I know, right? It looks dirty, but it's perfectly clean. I think it doesn't have enough contrast. I think what you're seeing there is a lack of contrast, and I was hoping to change that by hooking up the remote, but I soldered them up incorrect last night. Morton Upshot says, what is the name of the 360 mount? It doesn't really have a name. Somebody custom... So Newbie Drone has an Insta360 Go2 version of this mount that you can download from their store. And then some beautiful bastard here took that file and modified it. So, which is up on Thingiverse. This Insta360 Go2 mount is available on Thingiverse for you. If you can't find it, let me know. Gamagonad says those cameras aren't really just wide field of... Those cameras aren't really just wide field of view, in my opinion. They're more fisheye than anything. That's what I hate about them. They make me sick. Yeah, I mean, like, field of view is judged by, like, just how much you can see on the sides of the screen. And the 199C, for example, you could very obviously see a lot more off to the sides. But then they also have the fisheye, and I hate it too. The fisheye, I can't fly right with it. Like, it messes up my depth perception, I think. So I'm right there with you. About the fisheye. It's and it's one of the things that I really noticed when I was back-to-backing my Newbie Drone Ultimate Freestyle build with the Mobula Freestyle build. The Runcam Nano 3 seems to have less fisheye, and I'm able to judge better when flying that. Morton Upshot says, I found 4 versions. I think you have the thicker of the 4. I'm going to hack on it. Very cool. I have all 4 versions. I bounce back and forth between them. There are versions of this mount that push the camera really far forward, and that's great and all, but the problem is that if you crash, the camera tries to fall out of that one. So I don't like that version of the mount. There's another version of the mount that puts the camera really far back. That one you get too much ducked in view. So the version of the mount that's sort of in the middle, that puts the camera in the middle, that's the one that I like. And that's the version of the mount that I have on 2 of these rigs. It looks like this red one is still the one that pushes the Insta360 Go really far forward. What's up, Michael Blade? Hey, let me set a couple of gates up upstairs. I'm gonna do a triple cube gate for a nice big dive. Let me give you guys something to watch while I'm doing that, though. This should be fun. Come on! Go, hard drive! Go! There it is. Where's that rooftop footage at? Here, guys, go. Here's some booties for you. You guys know I'm always gonna give you that booty. That's a weird thing to say. Okay. There's that. I'll be right back.
Tell them how many you done crashed.
Oh God, hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds.
That's what got you the way you are. We just having some fun, man.
Yeah.
Sorry guys, that was a complete and utter fail. I did get it set up, but I tied it together like all wrong. I tied it together like someone that has rabies. I don't know why this didn't... Oh, because I just opened it like that. Okay. Alright, here we go. The triple cube gate has been assembled. The triple cube dive is coming at you. Hot! Hot and fresh. Just the way I like it. Just the way I like my win. This is the Mobula 6 Ultimate Freestyle CiottiFPV Donkey build. This is a Mobula 6 ELRS with a Meteor 65 frame swap. Weblade FPV. No. These are the Tiny Whoop motors. Tiny Whoop 0702 30,000s. The other one back there has the Weblades. Both of those motors are amazing. They both have more power than you'll ever need. I'm flying this one because it has the good camera on it. Crash flip switch, eh? Oh, transmitter's just full blown off. And here we go. Connect, you bastard. Connect. Look at this battery's all the way down to 3.9 already. Come on. You can do it. There we go. Yo, check this triple dive gate out. Oh, look at it. Would you just look at it? I tied the bottom all wrong. The bottom is all farged up. Oh my god! I would love to say that I meant to do that, but then I'd be lying. Oh my god. Yo, this triple gate is amazing. Let's play. Oh my god! What? Yo, this triple gate is the greatest thing in the world. It's hard to get the dive going though. Let's try it from a little upstairs spot. Oh! Yeah, that's hard to get in there as a dive. I like that. It's easy to go through it sideways for some reason though. Oh god! Forgot that I couldn't go out that way. Oh, this
30 seconds.
That did not make me happy. That was a big uncommanded ESC moment there. Ooh, got into the wall. Oh, nope. Come on. Come on, little fella. There we go. Oh, the triple dive. I knocked this wreath down. I feel bad. I hope it didn't break. Oh, God! I didn't give it quite enough throw. Oh, I got up onto the stairs, though. Oh, my God! Yo! The triple cube dive is incredible. Oh, my God! Oh, yo! What? I am down with this! Uh-oh. Thump. Alright, battery's going. Let's get down here before it gets all the way down. Oh, no, no! Fall down the stairs!
9, 8.
Oh, no!
7.
Ah! Okay. Wow. Yo, that is way more fun than the double. Like the double tall cube is really, really fun, don't get me wrong, but having that third one up on top is really just the hot heat, son. Damn. All right, we're going to do a Weblade FPV battery here. Oh, it's nice putting this battery in and not having the label try to peel off. I have a affiliate link to Weblade FPV for those of you that are going to buy yourselves something nice for Christmas. Okay.
5.
Let's get it.
3.
Oh, God!
2.
I don't know what I thought there. I guess I just thought that the wall would move out of the way, apparently.
1.
Hold on, I don't have any duct in view. That means the That means the camera has gone... Oh my god, there's like 40 degrees of up tilt on this camera right now. Why? Why you do this? There we go. Now there's some duct in view. And let me just tighten these screws a little bit. One of these days I'm just going to glue these cameras in. Get them all showing the same amount of duct in view, and then just put a blob of E6000 on there to hold their up tilt. I wish there was a better way to measure. Why is this battery dead already? 3.48. Okay, I'm just gonna stay down here. I wish there was a better way to measure field of view on these cameras. Can I Matty-flip this, I wonder? Oh my god, what is happening? I'm actually flying good for a change. Why did I just say that? Now I'm gonna crash nonstop. Oh, yes. Bring your shit on, son. Bring that shit. Let's do the TV power loop. Oh my god, I couldn't even get through the hole. Couldn't even get it through the hole. Let's try again. Ah! Sort of did it. Okay. These batteries have been sitting charged for a few days. Brandon's Big Pain says, wait, maybe it's 1.33x, then put 30 into a 24.
Telemetry lost.
What are you talking about, Brandon? What? What? Brandon's Big Pain says, have the talent try to sing and dance back to a 1.25x speed. Track on the, yeah, right. Car stereo that's going to slow it down and post, shoot 30, then slow it. Yeah, you can't. There's no way that you can have talent like slow down their lip movements that right amount. They would. I mean, the footage that we shoot anyway, like it very, very, very rarely gets used in a scenario where you would be able to see their read their lips. Like we're making B-roll here, so yeah, it's not really much of a concern. I mean, that would be a fun thing to try. I guess. Well, no, I guess you could do it. You would just set the playbacks. You would just set the playback for them on that slower speed or faster speed on the monitor that they listen to during the performance, and then they would just have to try to follow along with that. Woo! But just telling them to do that would, I don't think they'd be able to, unless they're really good. All right, here we go. Ready? Let's try to get the big power loop. Oh, wow. I didn't mean to go through the side like that, but I'll take it. Let's get it a little better here. Oh my god, that was... Wow! Crash prevention. Holy shitballs. I cannot believe crash prevention caught that. Hold on, let me see if I can get the goggles to stop beeping. Well, the goggles just shut off, so that's not good. I think my barrel plug is dying on these goggles. It's starting to act really strange. Oh no! Oh my goodness. Oh. Maggie in here? Nah, she's not in there. I wonder where she went. Oh my god! Why is everything I do is falling just right now? It's this quad, man. This tiny whoop is just magical. Oh my god! Oh, so close. Yeah, I'm telling you, this triple cube. I mean, here's the problem with this triple cube. This is like $75 worth of cube gates right here. These cube gates are kind of expensive. Man, I really went janky with I gotta redo this, the way that this is tied up. See, this is all like collapsed over here. Oh no. Oh no. Oh good. This is amazing. Here's my favorite thing about this triple cube gate. For whatever reason, when you do that little power loop there, you just go through the top one. All right, not every time, but like up until then, every time I did that power loop. See, look, it's like perfectly spaced. Oh, I didn't throw it back far enough that time. I think I went through the middle on that one. Ah, I caught the railing. Yes! Go through! Are you shitting me? Oh my god. Oh no, no, no. Oh, that was a big crash. Ah! Wow, this is way fun. This changes. I was gonna try to make a 4-high one, and I think I kind of can, because of the fact that I tied this up. See how I tied it to the railing? That gives it support. I don't think it'll freestand 4 tall. It might, but I just use these little straps that are kind of on the side to jankily tie it together. I could probably like do something with adhesive Velcro that would be a little bit more sturdy. But Jesus, having that, oh boy, having that 3 tall like that is really, really cool. Brunswick Bean says 1.25x. 1.25, that'd be interesting. I mean, having them go faster, I think it would be better than having them go slower. But again, we're shooting all B-roll, so I usually we don't really need to sync lips up. I've noticed that in one of the edits that I might work on here, and yeah, that's the edit that we're going to work on a little bit. I'm not synced up to the music at all, but like just the artist like moving their hands around and like moving their head as they talk, it looks like I'm properly synced up, which is like fascinating, because you would think that it would need to be actually synced up. But yeah, it seems to be pretty forgiving, which is great. Come on, come on, come on. Come on. God damn it. I can't get this BT 2.0 unplugged. Sometimes if you crash in the rear really hard, it'll like ram the BT 2.0 connector into the battery, and then it'll be like really hard to unplug, which is just destroying this battery. Like, this battery is just being absolutely ass raped right before our very eyes. I'm gonna need to get like a screwdriver in there, I think. Oh man, now it's getting worse. Now it's starting to reset itself. I need to get like a little, I got like a little chisel tipped screwdriver in here. Come on, god damn it. Rest in peace, Tiny Whoop battery. Come on, man. What the fuck? I can't get it, yo. I can't get this unplugged. There we go. God damn. Jesus. Put this battery directly on the charger. Maybe it won't take too much damage. Jesus. Man, and people with GNB27 complain about that. They complain that the connectors fit too tight on the batteries. I never hear people with BT 2.0 complaining about that, so I can't imagine how bad GNB27 must be. All right, here we go. Let's... I got this battery and one more. What was that? Can we do it? Nope. Hold on. That was an embarrassing first attempt. Oh! I've never had a problem with ramming into the couch. What's happening? Oh my god, I almost did it. What? Flip over. Thank you. World's tightest power loop. Come on. Today's the day. I can feel it. Wait a second. Where did all the duct go? I need to glue this camera. The up tilt is... I'm like, why does it feel so weird? It's because the up tilt has changed drastically. Must be on those crashes. The up tilt is changing quite a bit. Yeah, I just need to do a little gloop-a-glue. Little glue-gloop. And then we'll be good to go. All right, more abuse. Oh, that's much better. Oh, fart. Oh, nope. Come on now. Oh, I was trying to go like all awkwardly backwards through that. Oh my god, why? I'm gonna go crash it upstairs a bunch, and I'm gonna pay attention to when the up tilt changes. Oh no! Oh no! Oh no! Alright, it didn't really lose up tilt there. Missed it. Oh man, is that satisfying? Oh, is that not satisfying? No, 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 no. No, 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 no. No, 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 no. No, 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 no. Please, no. Not like this. Not like this. No. Oh my god, it's getting its revenge on me. Ha 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 ha! I win. Woo! My goodness! What if we climb it? Oh god. No, no, no. What if we... Hold on, let's do it from over here. What if we climb it? Oh god, I can't even climb it. Climb it. Oh, and then throw it back in. That's a tough one. That's a tough one. I have a better chance just pulling one of these. Yeah, there we go. Sorta. Let's try it again. Not really a Matty flip, more just like, oh, front flip. Oh, what is up today? Bring your shit on! Oh my god! Give it to me! I need it! Ah! I missed it. Oh, the couch got in the way. Who put that there? Oh no, I hit the railing. What can I do down the stairs? What if I come slowly down the stairs and then Matty flip up into it? Oh, I forgot. If I do that, I'm gonna bash into the wall. I need to pitch back if I'm gonna do that. Yeah, that's not a great move. Battery's going. Ah! I almost got it stuck in my hair. It almost finally happened. Someday it will certainly happen. Wait, what's the up tilt situation? Oh, it's got gobs of up tilt again. So the Mobula 6 canopy and camera holding setup relies on screws that screw into TPU. And like initially that TPU is nice and tight on those screws, but then eventually after it slips a million times, it yeah, you start to lose some of that resistance that you first had. And that's basically where we can put the spot of glue to kind of lock this thing in. But just for the sake of it, let me try tightening these screws one more time. Yeah, like you get the screws to tighten, like the screws do tighten, but they're just tightening into TPU, so they're just not. Yeah, it's just not giving it quite enough resistance. Last battery, friends, and then we're gonna do some editing. I'm gonna try to stream a little long today because I know there's some people that are used to me streaming at 3 o'clock Eastern that are gonna jump in here in about a half an hour from now. So yeah, I figured I'd do some flying first here, and then we'll do some editing in a little bit. Okay, here we go. 3.9 on the battery already. These batteries have been sitting a couple days. Yeah, we are in it today. Ah! I hear footsteps upstairs. Let's see who it is. Oh no! Let's fall down the stairs instead. Let's see who's up there. Oh God, what is happening? What is happening? Who is it? Who is it? Is it an intruder? I think there's an intruder. Whoa! Whoa! Wait, let's check on the fly swatter. Still up here. There it is. And there's the handle. Fly swatter still up here. Ooh! 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 That was cool looking. There's my wall ride. I've been trying to figure out how to do a wall ride up there for months. And that's the wall ride. So you come down here, and then you pull back like that. You pitch it. You guys catching that? You pitch downwards. And that lets you pull back. And I just, ooh, I hit the TV. Just got to be a little careful to not hit the TV any harder. Although I feel like these TVs are stronger than tiny whoops. Famous last words. You guys ever heard about anybody blowing up their TV with a tiny whoop? I really doubt it. You got to hit them with something sharp. Oh God, I really misjudged that. I thought it was gonna fall. I thought it was gonna clear the railing there. I kind of bailed out and tried to go through the middle one. That was stupid. Ah! Ah! I gotta let it hang, and I gotta let it fall down the entire dive. All right, let's get this. Oh! What did I hit? What was that? It just started spinning in midair. Uh-oh. Did it throw a prop? I think it threw a prop. Pretty sure it threw a prop. Walk of shame! And this is the rig with the hand-dyed props. Crap. Either it blew up or there was a hair. Let's see. Oh no! Left rear motor is angry. Oh no! Did we blow it up? Nah, it's fine. That was weird. Left rear motor was a little angry. I think that might have been where the hair was. Maybe it was just a little upset for a minute. Okay, there's the end of our flying. Oh! Terrible landing there. All right. Oh God. There we go.
Telemetry lost.
Whew. There's your tiny whooping for the day. 5 tiny whoop batteries a day. I can already tell that I've gotten quite a bit better doing that. I haven't. It hasn't been like I've missed a bunch of days, but a lot of nights I'll do 5 or 6 tiny whoop batteries, and I can definitely tell that it's helping, which is awesome. I'm definitely getting used to these ridiculous little high KV 0702 rigs. Man, what a thing. What a thing. The amount of like anger that they have when you stab the throttle is really kind of amazing. Love it. All right, people, let me get caught up on chat. Michael Blade FPV says, what camera did you use for this video? If it was the booty video, it's Hero 8. Mr. Huggy says, you're having too much fun flying around in that music video? Yeah, it's very fun, man. CH3 says, GoPro up tilt in that booty vid. More than likely 5 degrees or 10 degrees. I usually run very, very, very low up tilt. Brunswick Bean says, no, we got that. We've been talking about that. Gamma Gonad says, my conclusion, 199 has better contrast with way too much fisheye. Agreed. BeeEye is just blah. Agreed. And the Ant light is just decent all around. Unfortunately, we can't have it all at this point. I've flown them all. Yeah, I agree. I think that the Ant will get a little bit better once I reverse the pins on that little connector, and I can get into the menus and push the contrast up a little bit, maybe turn off. It might also have like a ton of like auto gain control added in, which can sometimes really wash things out. So I'll turn that down a little bit and we'll see what's what. Gamma Gonad Gamma Gonad likes his women like he likes his coffee, black, strong, and bitter. Francis McBean says, oh no, we got that. Apache Smoke says, that's some great flying, bro. Thank you, dude. And what are you guys talking about? Air fryer, what? Whoop bisque, 2 minutes in the microwave. Oh, shit. All right, cool. We're caught up. Let's do some editing, friends. Hold on. Let me make sure I don't have any smut on the desktop. Not that I really ever do, but, you know, it's always good to check things. So, what's this here? What do I got going on here? Is this going to play music? You going to play music, you jerk? No, you're not going to do anything. You're going to lag and be useless. Why is it not? I guess because I have the output changed. All right, so we're good here. Let's save this and kill this. So I'm starting to work through the Michael D says, just jumping in, love that Tiny Lifter cinematic Instagram vid. Thank you, brother. There's another one coming. Here's the next. I got to put this one up today, actually. So this will be... Here's your sneak peek. This will be the one that goes up today. I'm not going to play the music because I'll get dinged. But... Wait, now I can do this. Here you guys go. Ready? Are there two songs playing at once? Ah, no, no, blah, 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 don't play that. All right, hold on. No. This'll work. Here you guys go. This is not the real song, but it's a copyright-free song. Insta360 Go2, yo. Wild. Wild. This is a tiny whoop. Yes, it's a 2S tiny whoop, but it's still a tiny whoop. What's this thing weigh all up? Let's see. This is a rig that weighs, with the HD cam, right? Like all up, with the two batteries, 81 grams. You couldn't hurt a fly with it. Fully ducted. Actually, a little bit lighter. The one that I'm weighing right now has quad blades. That one had biblades. 81 grams, yo. 80 grams. Come on. 80 grams, quiet as hell. Looks like a little toy, right? Like, who's gonna yell at you for this? 80 grams. And the runtime's not bad. Let me look at the runtime. Hold on. On two BT 2.0 300 mAh batteries. What's the runtime? So take off at 18 seconds. And then I land at 304. Jesus, that's almost 3 minutes up. Yeah, 305 I landed it, and I don't think I over discharged the batteries or anything like that. So almost 3 minute runtime from a 75 mil tiny whoop carrying an Insta360 Go2. That's pretty special, man. It's not even a difficult build. Like, you can buy the Cockroach 75 and then just swap the antenna. Technically, you don't have to move it over to BT 2.0. It helps, but so that's going to be the hardest part of the swap, is making a double BT 2.0 battery lead. That's going to be the most challenging part of the swap, but it's not that hard. Just so you know, when you make this little 2S connector, you're gonna go flat to round with the little extra cable that goes through. So your negative is gonna come up and hook up to round. Round is ground on BT 2.0. So your ground is gonna come up to one of the round connectors, and then you're gonna take the positive connector on that one. You're gonna hook a wire up, and you're gonna go over to the second BT 2.0 lead on the round for ground side, and then you're gonna take the flat for positive side of this other connector, and you're gonna go to the positive on the voltage on the AIO itself. So it's a very simple little pigtail. I just happen to have a couple of these pre-made. But yeah, very, very easy to make. You're hooking them up in parallel. You're hooking them up as one big battery. So yeah, super straightforward. This camera is something else. And remember, you can get these from Best Buy on their website. Well, I haven't checked in a while, but a while ago you could get these on Best Buy from their website with Geek Squad protection. Series, not parallel. Thank you, Morton. Series. Running them in series. The voltage comes up to one connector, out the other connector, into the opposite side of the other connector, and then that comes back down in. What's up, June Loco? Michael D says, what about an 85 millimeter tiny lifter? So, coming up soon. This has been sitting around for a while. I need to get this going. I bought this last Christmas, I think. So this is 85 mil, 1105s. This Beta FPV frame is okay. It tends to kind of break on the flat parts here. This VTX is awful, so this VTX is going to have to get changed out. This is set up for a naked GoPro, which I really need to do. I have a Hero 6 that I've been meaning to tear apart. So yeah, this is currently set up for a naked GoPro. I have a second one of these builds ready to go. On the second build, Brain 3D was cool enough to design me this little guy, which I haven't used yet. I really need to. This is designed to work with the weird little Beta FPV mount, and it's going to hold the Insta360 Go2, and it's got these little front guys to hold a little nano camera up front, much like this little setup here that Beta FPV sells. Right? So yeah, this should be pretty slick. And they're set up to use this weird little mounting pad on this flat plate that goes up on top here. Kind of see it? And yeah, you see it in the back of this mount here, right there. So that'll go into that little mounting part there. And what's cool about that is it lets you change the up tilt. What I really like about it is that it locks the up tilt between the FPV camera and the Insta360 Go, so you don't have to individually change the up tilt, which is kind of nice. So yeah, we're gonna do 85. I mean, here's the problem though. Without a battery, and the battery is gonna be heavy on this thing, but without a battery, just the weight, man. This 85 is gonna be so much louder, so much heavier, so much sketchier. I mean, Christ, just the rig with no camera and no battery is 67 grams. So then the Insta360 Go is another 22 grams. So now we're up to 93 grams. And then the battery is probably going to be another 40, maybe even 50 grams on this thing. So, you know, now you've got a rig that's like 140, 150, 130 grams. It's much less like a toy. Still, you know, way, way, way under 250. And I don't know how these motors are going to perform. These are 1105. Oh man, these are really low kV motors. These are 1105 5000 kV motors. So I'm going to probably have to run this goddamn thing on 4S to use these motors. Actually, what I'll do is take these motors off. I have these AMAX Performante 1303 7500 kV motors. I can probably run these on 3S. You want to try to not run AIOs, the smaller AIOs at least. You want to try to not run them on 4S because they get a lot of electrical noise. The lower voltage you can run an AIO on, the better time you're going to have from an electrical noise standpoint, which is typically the weakness of the AIOs. So yeah, I really don't want to have to run these on 4S. Also, running them on 4S forces you to have a heavier battery because they don't really make batteries below, like, the sweet spot for MAH is 450. 450 and above. When you get below 450, the cell itself just doesn't perform as well. A 4S 450 mAh battery is heavy as hell. A 3S 450 mAh battery would be a much better choice for something like this. But these 5000 kV motors most likely are not going to have enough RPM. Although maybe they will, because there are the... I think there's a 2-inch 5-bladed Gemfan propeller. And maybe that has enough blade and pitch to make a lower kV motor work. That's one of the problems that we have with these 2-inch rigs, is that you tend to have a hard time finding a motor that's a high enough kV for it to run. to be honest, I would love to run this on 2S. That would really help with the electrical noise problems, but then we would need to find like an 1104, 1105, 1203, 1204 motor that's like 10,000 plus kV, and I have not seen any of them. So yeah, the motor selection becomes a problem. It's very annoying to find a motor that's the right stator volume but also has enough kV. Typically the problem is the motors that we have are too low of a kV. It's very annoying. MNTLFPV says, hey man, I just checked with a multimeter and also by use that the ELRS antenna pad on the Happy Model X12 is the upper left. So is that, oh wait, here we go. When looking at the 4 pads from the outer edge of the board, so it's the upper left, inner left pad that works to run a wire antenna from when the cube breaks. Awesome, MNTL. Thank you for confirming that. That is the same pad as the full-size Happy Model board. The one that comes in the regular Mobula 6 ELRS. It's the most inner. Oh wait, no. So if you're looking at the board from the side, so it's not the innermost pad. The way that I look at it is from the back. Like when looking, like if you're driving the rig and you're sitting in the rig looking forward, on the full-size Mobula 6 board, it's the farthest in pad. I think what you're saying is it's the farthest rearward pad if you were sitting in the tiny whoop driving it, right? Is that what I'm hearing? Again, this I've spent a bunch of time now on this fractal. Yes, inner rear. Awesome, MNTL. Thank you. So that is, I think that's different. Let me confirm. I think that's different between the X12 and the Mobula 6 ELRS. Oh wow, it's way different. I was wrong. It's not the innermost. It's the forward. It's the farthest forward pad. Hold on, it's hard to tell. I got a big blob of welder on there to protect the little antenna. Let me look on this one. Oh man, I got a big blob of welder on this one too. Oh, look at that. No, it is the farthest forward pad. I'll be damned. Okay, I was wrong. So wow, it's completely opposite between the X12 and the Mobula 6. Interesting. Well, there you guys go. Maybe it's different on every one they produce. Michael D says, for cinematic style flights like the video, would a pusher offer a smoother flight, especially when low to the ground? I'm planning on 85 millimeters with the Caddx Loris 4K. To be honest, I don't think it makes a difference. The pushers have a number of like issues. My big problem with the pushers is like if you land on grass that's more than like a 1/4 of an inch tall, you can't take back off. So I just, and the smaller the quad is, the worse that's going to become. So yeah, I'm not down with the pusher thing. Like this, having the batteries on the battery on the bottom and then the ducts to try to keep shit out of the props. That's going to be key for a smaller rig. If you expect to be able to take it off after you crash it. And face it, like, you're going to crash it. Yes, I know we like to think that with cinematic flying that we're going to be going so slow and safe that we're not going to crash, but you are going to crash because there's going to be an amazing little gap that you want to shoot. I mean, like, what separates great cinematic footage from good cinematic footage is shooting really small, really challenging gaps. And you're not going to get it right every time, so you are going to crash them. So, yeah, the pusher rigs, just having the ducts like a millimeter off the ground, that's just silly. I'm not into that at all. In testing of the QAV S frame, not QAVS, QAV Cine, this particular frame, which is not a standard cinewhoop frame. This is a very specific frame design, right? What is this called? Box frame. So when Ryan Harrell was testing this box frame as a pusher, as it is here, versus a puller, as a pusher, it got slightly better. It was slightly more efficient. Whether or not that carries through to other styles of frames, like a tiny whoop frame, I have no idea. There is a drastic difference between these two frames. This has like molded ducts, and this is just all flat, weird shit. That is a very weird result, because it's not supposed to be like that. The puller style frames are supposed to, the physics say they're supposed to be more efficient, because all of the work is being done above the propellers. Above the propellers is where static air is being changed. It's being pulled down, and that's where the work occurs. So the physics say that that's where you want to have no obstructions. And the physics say that down below the propeller, it's just getting rid of the air. We think of these things as pushing themselves through the air. They actually don't. They pull themselves. The air is just hanging out, and then this thing pulls itself into the air much more than it pushes. You start to get push when you fly really low into ground effect, because there's something for the air to kind of push into, or to push against, I should say. So yeah, that's a very weird test result. Not many frames can be easily reversed. This frame design allows you to just literally take the camera cage and flip the camera cage upside down, and then you can fly it either way. So this frame is a perfect one to test that pushing versus pulling setup. And yeah, Ryan did not expect that result. Nor did I or Chris Rosser, who I've talked to about this. So yeah, a little bit weird. It could be this weird ass box frame design, right? Like, this is a really weird aerodynamic situation. You've got like these flat, you got these flat bits out here. You got these big flat bits down on the bottom. You've got these flat guys, right? Like, what you want to remember is it's not putting like a perfect cone of thrust down. The thrust kind of goes out. Same thing happens on the top. It pulls air in from around, so it forms like a cone of air that it's pulling in. So yeah, maybe there's just some weird aerodynamic situation going on with this particular frame, because yeah, the physics do not say that a pusher is supposed to be better than a puller. That's a weird result, but unarguable, you know. I mean, and easy to test, to be honest. You flip the camera upside down, you hover the damn thing, see how long it hovers, recharge the same battery, flip the camera cage upside down, hover it again, and there you go. So it's kind of hard. You can't really refute the results there. But on a tiny whoop frame, they're a totally different shape. You know, the ducts are tapered in. So if you were to flip these tapered in ducts upside down, now they're tapered in kind of the wrong direction. That's not a good sign. You also run into problems of like, where the hell do you put the battery? So yeah, there's all kinds of weird stuff going on. But all that being said, the main problem for me with pushers is having the propeller so close to the ground. From like trying to get the quad back standpoint after I've crashed it somewhere, that's scary. And yeah, I'm not interested in that. Gamma Go. Oh no, wait. Here's the other thing that I will say, because Michael D asked, especially when low to the ground, like, would a pusher be better than a puller when low to the ground? I do not think so, because the closer the propellers are to the ground, the worse the ground effect is going to be. So a puller design is going to, just by nature of the height of the motor and the batteries down below, it's going to force there to be more distance between the ground and the actual propeller. So I would think that if the goal is to fly really, really close to the ground, I would think that you would want a puller design. Oh, Felix texted me. Let me make sure they're not dying. No. He sent me a picture of a dog with an egg on its head. This doc is holding a Greg egg on its head. I'm going to reply back with, you okay? So yeah, that's my thought. Gamma Gonad says, I think you really need a 2.5-inch prop. 95 millimeter is bare minimum, in my opinion. That's what I run, and that's 4S. I've gone down I mean, the main problem is just the weight starts to get even more out of hand, right? Like I'm already dragging my feet on the 2-inch build because I don't want the weight to be that much. As the weight goes up, the noise goes up. The magic of these rigs to me is that this is as like safe and quiet and everything as you can possibly carry an Insta360 Go. And quite honestly, I don't necessarily want... It would be nice to have a little bit more power, but it's not an acro rig, right? It's not a freestyle rig. It's a completely cinematic rig. What is... Is this motor shaft slipping? Why is this propeller not sitting down as far as the others? Did I just not push it down far enough? Well, that's weird. Yeah, it's not about power. It's about noise and safety. So yeah, that's why the tiny lifters have been a thing. Once you get up to 2.5-inch, that's like a free, like, you know, that's closer to a freestyle quad than like a lifter, right? Like this is called a tiny lifter because the cinelifters are kind of underpowered. They can only really do one thing. They don't really freestyle all that well. This is sort of the same thing. Trying to keep the weight absolutely as low as possible, and we're sacrificing flight performance for that, and that's okay. In this case, that's why it's not called a cinewhoop. It's called a cinelifter, or a tiny lifter rather. So yeah, 2.5-inch would have tons more power, but that's not what I'm looking for. If I were going that route, I would just take one of the rip squeaks and just put a prop guard on it. The rip squeaks are set up with 3-inch arms, so I could take a 2.5-inch prop and put a 2.5-inch prop guard, which takes the space of the bigger propeller, and all would be right with the world. But then you've got a rig that's like 250, 260, 270 grams. It's loud as hell. It's kind of dangerous. If you get it stuck in somebody's hair, it's going to rip the hair out of their head, versus something that you can fly around like in a mall, in a crowded mall, and people are just going to smile and laugh about it, right? Like you wouldn't be able to take a 2.5-inch rig and rail it around people without somebody getting pissed and without you getting kicked out. Whereas with these guys, I'm hoping that yeah, I can get away with flying these in like really dumb places. Michael D says, good call. I didn't think about the props touching the grass with a pusher. Thank you. Time for me to find the right frame that could make it happen. It's hard, man. It's a niche within a niche within a niche within a niche within a niche trying to do this. But I like the challenge. The challenge is fun. Dan Mullinger sent a bunch of his stickers, and I'm gonna then send you guys some of these stickers. Thank you, Dan. The one and only Danzilla. Danzilla the Wonderful sent a little stack of stickers, and now you guys are gonna get to benefit from that. Very cool little design. Look at that. Yeah, some quads flying around, some Godzilla burning the city down. Get you some. Very cool, Dan. I'm gonna keep 3, and the rest shall go to you, beautiful bastards. Those drones can't stop the Denzilla. You're right, Dan. They are not slaps. They are stickers. Slaps is what happens when you call stickers slaps. I slaps you across the face. Let's see how this battery did that I heinously over discharged when I couldn't get it plugged back in. 4.04, it came back up. And it is not rapidly dropping voltage, so that's awesome. The sticker is peeling off, though. I'm gonna get rid of the stickers from these cinewhoop and tattoo batteries have now begun peeling off so badly that I'm having to like actually peel them all the way off. But that's okay because I stick them on the bottom of my desk here. All right, let's do some editing. Let's edit some shits. If you guys have any editing questions, this is the time. Because we're about to dive into it. So, yeah, this... I don't know how I'm going to... I guess maybe playing this audio through the speakers only a couple seconds at a time, maybe I can get away without getting dinged on copyright, but if I do, it's fine. I don't monetize these videos because I don't want you guys to, because I don't get many views. That's the main reason. But also I just would rather you guys not have to wait through commercials and whatnot. Michael D says, did you see the shiny chrome Beta FPV 0802 motors? I did not. Beta FPV 0802. Is there a new one? Where'd you see him? Oh God, there they are. Oh, 19,500 kV. Worthless. Look at that bell design. That's wild looking. That's a shame they're such low kV. That's because what's cool about these motors is I think they have bearings in them. Yeah, they do. Oh no, they don't. They have brass bushings. Okay, so they're totally worthless then. Couple of these little tiny motors now are getting bearings. What's interesting about the bearings is maybe you'll get a little bit more efficiency from them, but I have heard that the bearings are too small and they're not rated for the RPM that these things turn. So the metal bushings might be actually preferred. I think they're like dentist bearings, and they're not meant. Yeah, they're not meant for the crazy FPV that we're RPM rather that we're turning. So yeah, but these don't have bearings. They say bushings. Interesting. Shiny as shit, yo. Gamagonat says, I was referring to the 85 millimeters when I mentioned 95 millimeters. Ah, okay. I actually love your little tiny lifters. In fact, I want to build one to try. So you're talking about a naked GoPro carrier then, right? Gamma. Yeah, I had the... I had a, oh God, what does Beta FPV call it? Beta FPV's Pusher 85 millimeter 2-inch prop rig. And it was not good. It was super loud. It was not efficient at all. But it was like a heavy rig, right? Like it had this big heavy frame, and then it had very big motors. They had 1204s, but there's a real sweet spot. Like I'm so impressed by these because of how little weight, how little motor, how little like everything that this has. It's really, really impressive. The once you start, like when you go from this 1.6 inch to 2 inch, the weight goes crazy. Like it's really wild. And yeah, I mean it's weird. 2-inch, like you would think that 2-inch would work well, but like the weight goes so crazy. I think we just don't have the right frame. I wish that we could do a build super. That was my thought process with this setup, is like simple, straightforward TPU pillar with the Insta360 Go2, little nano camera right on the front. And that's it. No big crazy carbon fiber brace on top for battery straps and all this bullshit. Hang the battery off the bottom. Just keep it absolutely as light as possible. And then, yeah, going up to 2.5, no matter what, you're going to increase the weight. But you get additional efficiency. You get it. So if I can get that 2-inch rig to be light enough, it'll be fine. But with like the current frame options available, that's where it becomes like much more difficult to kind of do that. MNTL says, editing question, why Premiere and not DaVinci Resolve? Asking from a professional production standpoint, much prefer Resolve. I've never used Resolve. I've been using Premiere for a while. I don't really know Premiere all that well. I don't do much editing, to be honest. When I fly gigs, I don't do the editing for that gig. Maybe that needs to change. Maybe that's not why I haven't been booking any gigs over the last 6 months. But yeah, I don't do any editing. I'm the pilot. I turn the footage over to the editor and they go do their thing. For the 30, 40 gigs that I worked the beginning of this year and last year, that's how it was. I don't really enjoy edit. I kind of hate editing, to be honest. I got a degree in TV radio 20-ish years ago and did a ton of editing over the next 5 years and just completely burned it out. And I never wanted to edit anything ever again. It's not that bad anymore. Like I'm willing to edit, but I get burned out on it really fast, and like that very quickly. That hatred of doing it comes back. So yeah, I know Premiere just enough, and like done. I'm not gonna spend time relearning Resolve, because that could easily lead to like. I also don't like learning things anymore. Like at 41 years old, like just the process of learning something new is fucking painful, and I just don't like it. So I'm afraid that having to go through that process, which I know I'm not going to enjoy with editing, which I already kind of don't enjoy, I would just be like, forget this. I'm not editing anything ever again. And I kind of don't edit much as it is, so... Michael D says, scroll up, got it. Gamagonad says, I don't think you're going to be able to run that 85mm on much lower voltage. Give it a try, though. I'm always looking for something lighter to carry the Go2. All right, and then you guys are talking about MNTL. Yeah, that's a great question, MNTL. Yeah, I don't know. That rig, it's just it's the most similar to this that I've been able to do. I've been able to find. It's a regular old tiny whoop frame, simple carbon fiber brace. There is a battery strap on that, but I mean, that's probably the same weight as this TPU. Regular old AIO. I wish I could run it on a 2S battery, but I just don't think so. We'll kind of see, though. I will try. And then that TPU piece instead of this canopy. So we'll see. The indoor drone tours guys, who are arguably like the biggest shop for sub 250 cinematic-ish footage, they all use that. They all use the 85mm setup. Very similar to that, actually, my build. My build there is heavily inspired by them. And they run them with naked GoPros, and they're doing gigs all day, every day. So if it's good enough for them, and I mean, they're a company that can afford to build anything. And there's a bunch of really smart folks. Somatic FPV, who used to be in our chats all the time, Cameron, he's been working for them for damn near about a year now. And yeah, he's a brilliant dude, and he could build... If the 2.5-inch version of that flew better, that's what he would be flying. So yeah, I'm hoping that his success is, I can kind of piggyback off of his success with the 85s, but we'll see. They run them on 4S, so we'll see. June Logo says, Grayson got robbed. That sucks. Yeah, somebody threw a brick through the window and blows. All right, cool. So let's do a little bit of, wow, it's 10 after 3 already. Jesus. Any editing questions that you guys have, absolutely fire away. This is where we're at. This is where I'm at on this one so far. So this is actually a completely different song than what this shoot was for. And you kind of can't tell. It's really, like, I'm really impressed that you can't tell. Well, you don't need to see this part. Little bit of B-roll that I just snagged with the Insta360 Go2. There's no color correction or anything on this yet. I got to do a separate. Well, no, I guess there's a little bit here. The other reason I use Premiere is that I have the Adobe suite for Photoshop and Illustrator. So yeah, I get Premiere as a part of that, and Lightroom. But yeah, this is a completely different song, and like that right there, like just his head motion and then like throwing his hand up, those are completely different lyrics, but like a lot of hip hop songs are kind of like based in triplets, and so it really works. And a lot of times these guys will have like roughly the same BPM, and this is such a great example that I was not expecting that at all. Gamagonet says Naked GoPro is lighter though. Please prove me wrong. No, you're right. It's insane that Naked GoPros are lighter than Insta360 Go2s. The mount though, the Naked GoPro mount is typically a little bit bigger, so I bet you all said and done, like the weight difference is pretty much the same. I really need to tear apart this Hero 6 and build it into a Naked, but it's so hard to do because I know I'm gonna crash it, and I know they're super fragile, and when it breaks, it breaks. Like the Insta360 Go, I have Geek Squad protection on. If I crash it and break it, I'm good to go. I pay $30 and I get a new one. So I've been really dragging my feet on the Naked GoPro, but I gotta get it done. All right. Get back into it here. Come on, Premiere, you can do it. So yeah, this is going to be a portfolio piece as to like, here's what here an example of a bunch of the shots that FPV can give you. I don't love. I'm trying to get around losing the subject. So ready? Oh, come on now. Oh, I'm not on the proxies. There we go. That'll be better. So I completely lose the subject here, and now I pick him back up. I don't lose his whole body, but like his head, you know, his head goes completely out of frame. Not the end of the world, but I'm playing around with throwing something in here. Let me see. Oh yeah, that's that little snap roll. Yeah, it doesn't fit in there quite yet. I didn't finish it. And it would need to lead. It can't just snap back to this same footage. So I'm probably gonna leave it alone. I'm probably just gonna let it go like this and just let him come out of the frame like that. Or maybe I'll throw another. Maybe I'll chop this up. I don't know. There's a bunch of really interesting camera moves in here, like that. I kind of want to leave that in. But, I don't know, just kind of playing around with that. And then it looks like I just kind of pushed forward. And then we got some funny B-roll stuff coming up. So let's see. Oh, yeah, and so that's the other thing. I'm trying to keep... I'm trying to give some context. There's no money on the ground. You see him throw a stack, and now all of a sudden there's money on the ground. I'm trying to keep context there. I don't want to just edit this out, and then all of a sudden there's a grand sitting on the ground. But what I could do is chop this up into a bunch of chunks and just so like right here. Yeah, so like if I throw a cut in there, where does that clip start? That clip starts on his side. So I could replace this chunk in here. What's the end of this? What if I pull this out? What's that look like? Nah, see, he's not really interacting. He's just kind of standing there. Ah! Now, I'm going to save this snap roll clip for later. That doesn't really work. So I need to try to find something else that I can sneak in here, I think. Yeah, that doesn't necessarily work. What else do I have? I got a lot. This has to get chopped down quite a bit. What is this? Well, yeah, there's a whole bunch of options here. Oh, but see, now all of a sudden his hood's up. So I basically just need to chop this beginning bit much harder. So this is the length of the song that I'm working with here on the, you kind of can't see it below the nonsense on the bottom of the screen, but this width here is the length of the song. And I've got 1, 2, 3, 4. I think I've got 4 full 3 to 4 minute batteries to put up there. So I need to be a little more aggressive with what I'm cutting out in the beginning here. Just taking a quick look at chat. Manziel says, nice shots. Thank you, brother. Fill inside of naked GoPro with worry-free FPV or silicone sealant to protect the insides and also water snowproof. That's a cool idea. That stuff's heavy, though, isn't it? It's basically like epoxy. Epoxy tends to be pretty heavy. Morton Opchat says, I published a draft of the Goober 360 mount I think you're using. Not sure if it showed up in chat. Nah, it won't show up in chat, Morton. But I am in Livestream Live over on Discord if you want to throw it in there. I do have that up on the second monitor. All right, so I don't know what I'm going to do about the color. Like I didn't, there's just not much color here. Like it's just, this was filmed in the winter and it's just all kind of browns. There's really not a lot going on here. Don't really know what I can do. If I push it really hard, I can get some blue out of the sky, but it's going to start to look really stupid. I wonder if I cool it down quite a bit. I wonder if I cool it down and then push in a ton of saturation. That brings the greens out. This is one of the ways to kind of exaggerate your temperature and your tint adjustments is to turn the saturation like all the way up. And then as you move these around, it'll be really obvious what the hell's happening, right? So we pull it down into the cooler, into the blues, and the sky kind of lights up, but we lose a bunch of the brown from the leaves and the Georgia clay. If you keep going, it's just stupid. Versus you push it to the right into warmer territory, you start to lose the blue up in the sky, and everything just becomes orange, which doesn't really make any sense. So now we'll put it back into the middle, and we'll play with the tint slider. We move that to the right. We get a whole bunch of purples that start to show up. Pushes to the left, we get a bunch of greens. So, yeah, I mean, in this case, like, the only colors that I really have are blue, green, and, like, this warm color. So I can't really go ham with the temperature or the tint without losing a bunch. And it kind of feels like leaving it alone is the best. The purple is kind of interesting. So this is now the tint slider pushing it up into magenta. Yeah, I like it better with a little more magenta there because it doesn't totally kill the greens. Like you can still see over here like the moss on this stone. You can still see that moss. It just takes the green out, like the green tint out of the ground. So I'm actually going to run this tint up at 20. I wouldn't want it any more than that. Exposure is 0.2. I need to learn. This is a bright monitor that I'm on. I realized that with the T-Pain drift edit. It was a little too bright when I watched it on a bunch of different screens after I'd already uploaded it. So I'm going to bring the exposure down to just 0. Although, oh Christ. Come on. There we go. Because I don't think I can really do much with the exposure. It's pretty much bang on. Contrast I have all the way up at 70 because this was filmed in flat. And I guess I can just keep pushing the contrast. I'm actually going to run the contrast up to 80. Highlights are at a -20. That's trying to get the sky under control. Kind of an overcast day. The sky is just completely blown out. Not a whole lot going on there. Let's see real quick here. Let's just move the contrast around a little bit. So it's at 70. Yeah, I mean, I almost can't add enough contrast. I'm going to kick it back up to 80. I think 80 is a good... I feel weird maxing these sliders all the way out. So again, the highlights are trying to bring the sky down a little bit so it's not quite so blown up. It's at -20 now. If I delete the minus, you can get a quick idea of like what that's doing. If you want to be even more drastic with that, set it at like a value of 50. So it's now +50. Put the minus in there, hit return, and now you can see a huge difference. Go back in, take the negative out. I mean, you can also just kind of grab the sliders and move them around, but I actually like using the numbers. So you can see up in the sky, if you pull the highlights down far enough, you almost start to get clouds. Not quite, but the problem is when you can pull the highlights down so much that it starts to affect the midtones. So if you look at the actual subject and like his white shirt and just like his skin tone, it starts to get affected by pulling the highlights too far down. So we don't want to pull them too far down. You can always then go in and push the exposure back up to bring those midtones back. Your exposure slider basically is what affects the midtones. Your highlight slider only affects the highlights, thus the name highlight slider. Let's pull it down to 30. It's pretty aggressive, but this is a pretty boring day. So, and then the shadows slider is what's going to control the shadows. So you're going to see that on his shirt and pants. So we've got it at a value of +20 right now. That's probably about right. I mean, if you bring this down, it's going to give you a more contrasty look, but you're going to lose any detail on his shirt and or pants. And we don't want that. So we actually do need to have a good whack of shadows in here. It was on 20. I'll leave it at about 25. Whites controls the very whitest of whites. You want to make sure that there's some clipping. You can use the lumetri scope to kind of control that, but I don't have a great understanding of how the scopes work, so I tend to just do it like by eye. You know, if it looks good, it looks good. This white slider, though, I had it up in the positives, probably because I've pulled the highlights down so much. You want to make sure that you have some blown out whites. You do want some of the whites to be blown out, typically. I mean, it depends on the look you're going for, but yeah. From an editorial standpoint, usually you do want to maintain some 100% white. So that when you go really hard on this, you see up in the sky, we lose a bunch of detail. Like, there's detail in the sky. Now there's no detail in the sky, and it's even bleeding over. It's like blooming over into the into those trees. So we do not want that, but we also don't want to bring it all the way down. This is the whites and the black sliders are not where you want to get detail. They're where you want to make sure that that you still have 100% white somewhere in the frame and 100% black somewhere in the frame. In Premiere, the black slider is not all that great, so I usually kind of just leave it alone, or I'll just give it a tiny little nudge. In this case, so you can see what it's doing on his jacket and his pants. In this case, I'm just going to nudge it down into the negative ever so slightly. -5. That should be fine. And then we've got in the creative panel here. Why is there no? Why are the vibrance? And, I added the saturation in the basics tab. Let me take that back out. Okay. So in the creative tab here, usually you're going to add a little bit of sharpening. Don't go too nuts with this. But the vibrance and the saturation are the ones that I really spend time with in here. And this is where you just kind of bring the colors to life a little bit. Never go too nuts on these or it'll start to look like Fisher-Price my first edit. But in this case, this is a fairly low color scene, so we can be pretty aggressive with these to try to just bring this to life a little bit. So I'm going to run this vibrance up at around 40, and then the saturation, you almost always want less saturation than vibrance. Vibrance is like a little bit more gentle. Saturation starts to look really silly really fast, although in this case the saturation is actually really helping. Running around there, let's see what that looks like. Yeah, I mean there's just not a lot to work with here. There just aren't many colors to work with here. And I don't really do the color replacement shit. I just don't know enough about it. And I don't really like it. I can count on one hand how many times, like... See, so there's a good example of what... This is a great spot to dial in the vibrance and the saturation. We've got something in the scene that actually has a bunch of different variations in colors. So if we wipe these all the way out, if we wipe the vibrance and the saturation out, you can really see the difference that they're making. The vibrance, even if you put the vibrance all the way up, it still doesn't look that bad. Like it starts to kind of look bad. But watch when you put the saturation all the way up. Oh, that actually looks okay. In most scenarios, if you were to put the saturation all the way up, it would look ridiculous. This is an interesting kind of color palette here, where the vibrance is hitting more of the colors in this location than the saturation. So I think, as weird as it is, I don't think I've ever done this before, even in photography, even in photo editing. I think I'm going to run more saturation than vibrance. So that's a vibrance value of 30. If I pull the saturation up to 40 or even 50, it still doesn't look bad. Gamagonet says this area kind of reminds me of Horse Pens 40, which is a very popular rock climbing boulder spot. That's cool. Literally 100 times cooler though. 2.5 hours from your location. One of the coolest places I've ever been in. Horses Pens 40, eh? Be kind of fun to film rock climbers, although I guess what do? You just hover next to them. I mean, you could do like a dive and whiz past them, but all right, let's see how it looks with a big amount of saturation. Yeah, see, now we're getting there. All right, so now there's a little bit more going on. See, okay, so here's the problem with adding a ton of vibrance and saturation. The sky is going to start to look artificially blue, and that's already kind of starting to happen. I don't think it's that bad yet, though, so I think this is where I'm going to kind of leave it. Yeah, I don't really... I think this is about it for the color grade. I mean, I shouldn't be doing the color grade before all the chopping up is done, but here we are. I was just annoyed by the way this is kind of looking. So the problem I'm going to have is that there's now a bunch of money on the ground, and in the other battery that I flew here, there's no money on the ground. I think eventually he throws some... Let's see. Nope. Maybe not. Well, keeps going and going and going. Yeah, so I got to kind of figure out how to get the yeah, there is nothing on the ground here. So I almost want to use this. Man, I'm noticing this way too late. I should have been using this this battery first. Kevin Gooded, it says plenty to film if you shut up, you totally understand. That's pretty cool. I gotta be honest, it's hard for me to edit. I usually don't edit on live streams because, like, it's rough. You guys are gonna have to listen to the same bit of the song over and over again. Also, like, I have to really like when I'm editing, like, my brain is in full go, and it's hard to, like, talk through it with you guys and, like, let my brain really fall all the way into it. Man, see, I'm gonna really have to. So this is Insta360 Go2 footage, and then we snap into GoPro footage. This is gonna be a bitch to match these. Like, for example, if I just extend the adjustment layer, well, that's actually not as bad as I thought. Let's see. Yeah, see, no, there's. I'm gonna have to do a separate. It's really annoying switching back and forth between different cameras because they different sensors represent different colors in different ways. It's one of the nightmares of editors. All right, so I mean, I'm good. Although it doesn't have the hood on. I guess I could edit in some of that shit with the hood on. But yeah, once there's stuff on the ground, this has to be. It doesn't have to be, but I want there to be context to that. So I can keep this, keep this, keep this. I could totally edit in him with the hood up all of a sudden. That's not... Alright, but now he's got a big wad of cash in his hand. So I think that is where I now need to start pulling in the footage from this battery. So let me start chopping this up. And the first thing that I always try to do is just chop the garbage out. Like, there's going to be plenty... There's always plenty of garbage. So get it out. Be pretty ruthless. I mean, if you're doing a 20-minute edit, be less ruthless, but this is not. This is a 3-minute 15, 3-minute 20-ish edit. So we got to be pretty ruthless here. Let's see. So that's a cool little back out, but then I smacked into that. Although that could be a cool little transition. So let's actually hang on to that, because that could be fun. And he's not wearing the hood yet, so yeah, we'll definitely hang on to this. And so I'm going to chop it right around there. And now let's keep going. I mean, that whole sequence actually could be like something cool at the end. Maybe not, though. Nah. Alright, here we go. What do we got? Oh, yeah, I can start... Okay, yeah. I think I already figured this out. I think I already figured out that I can start sneaking this footage in. Alright, so... Low energy, low energy, low energy. Big energy on that yaw, but I mean, he's not really working with me here. He's just kind of standing there. It's one of the problems with a lot of these rappers is they're just so cool. They just want to, like, chill and stand there. And it's like, yeah, I get it, but that doesn't work for videos. But I mean, it's up to the director. Like, I can't speak up and tell these guys to do stuff. That's on the director. That's an interesting little push forward. Farting around in here. I think this is all gonna go. That's an interesting little slide there, though. I wish he was moving around a little bit more, but that's pretty nice. Where does that start? That starts on this tree, but it only really starts to look good around here. So let's chop this, kill this, and keep going. Yeah, that's kind of cool. I'm gonna chop it around there because now it starts to get, it's a little too slow. Yeah. What's up, Charles Marseille? Yeah, I mean that's a great camera move, but I'm trying to keep it moving with the editing in this. I'm basically doing quick cuts to offset the fact that the artist is just standing around, basically. Welcome to the game, I guess. See, and that gap is a little too long there. I could do a speed ramp, but I try to not do speed ramps because it just slows me down. I have so much to edit. Speed ramps also make Premiere get very angry. It's one of my least favorite things about Premiere is that it does not speed ramp well. I was trying to go off an elevation, but there was so much scraggle at this spot. My God. Not a whole lot going on. This is pretty much all gonna get cut out, I think. Jesus, that feels weird. I'm cutting out a ton. Is there really nothing in there? Push forward, little slide. Not much going on his part. This is useless. This gap is too big in between here, and plus he's still doing nothing. One little hand move there. I'm not doing shit now. That's kind of an interesting little push in. He's moving his hat around, which is kind of cool. Let's save this. Chop it right here. This will give me a spot to just chunk that out. Well, where's that go? Well, that's cool. That goes to a little bit of speed there. So that could be useful. Driving it out like that. Okay. So then we'll chop that. This is obviously all going to get cut out. And all right, where's something decent? Yeah, nothing there. That's a cool little drop. All right, there we go. There's a little smile from him. That's a cool little drop. There we go. That's a cool little run. The difficult thing is going to be finding a clip that the end of the previous clip gets our elevation up so that it's not kind of like jarring. We're going to chop this here. Kill that. All right, and chop it here. That's a cool little fade, but the beginning of it, yeah, it's a little, he's a little blurry. Yeah, no, that ain't gonna work. He's too small in the frame. And there's shit on the lens now. That's super annoying. Oh, there we go. There we go. Now he's playing with the camera a little bit. All right. This is what I'm looking for. This is the kind of stuff I'm looking for. Starts here. And what's this back here? Is this junk? This is junk. There we go. All right. So we're going to do this big left turn. There we go. That's cool. We got a little hand motion, and then that kicks off the camera rotation. So let's pull this in here. And nice. That'll make it. There we go. That's a big old back out there, too. Cool. Yeah, it's almost like he throws the camera out. That's slick. And then he's standing the other fucking way around. It's a shame. All right, yeah, so we'll cut this at the end of the camera back out here. And chop. Cool, that was a good one. That was a good little run there. What else we got? This is all useless, because for some reason he's facing that way. Come on. Face the camera. You can hear, I know you can hear it. We're back into money. There we go. There's something. Alright, we're going to start that right here. And... Ugh. So that looks dumb because it's real steady go horizon locked. Let me put an end point on this. That's too much of a fade out. We're going to cut this shorter. Chop it up here somewhere. That's... Where's the center point of the rotation? Is the center point of the rotation on him? Oh, it was originally. Initially it's on him, and then the center point wanders around. That's fine. That's a shitty little exit to it too, so there's nothing going on there. I think that's the end of the battery. Or not. That's a decent little run in. Although that's a little too far. I wish he'd at least turned his head. We'll keep it just in case I need a little run in like this. Yeah. Alright, so we'll keep this, kill this, chop the end of this. Alright, stop it there. What else we got? I was really trying to use some elevation. You gotta be really careful. You cannot... So here's a really good example. If you're going to put your footage through Real Steady, you got to be really gentle on the sticks because Real Steady hates motion blur. So, I mean, and like, so your other option is that you crank the shutter speed up, but that looks like a fucking flip book. So if you want your footage to have motion blur, which you should, you got to be really slow. You got to keep all the camera movements really slow. Because otherwise you're going to get this weird, massive mess that Real Steady Go just makes look so much worse. And that's a great little example of that. I was a little too active on the sticks there. Gemfan says, so obviously you don't need them here, but do you use ND filters on the Go2? Definitely helps with the vibes. I have the ND filters for the Go2, but I've forgotten to use them every single time that I've had it out. Yeah, Michael D, there is a smudge. It's very annoying. Yeah, I keep forgetting to use them. Mainly, the reason is that I tend to fly golden hour, and the Insta360 Go2 is not great with low light as it is. So, like, the beginning of golden hour, the Insta360 Go is already struggling. Go2, rather, is struggling. You only really need the ND filters in the middle of the day. And I just very rarely fly when the sun is directly overhead. So, and or when it's, like, bright mega sunlight. But I have them. I spent the $30 whatever on the set of ND filters for the Go2. Michael DC says, seems to be only when light hits a certain way that it shows up. Yeah, the smudge on the lens, yeah. I think I had crashed at some point. Yeah, that crash on this battery got shit on the lens and didn't notice it because the GoPro is a different lens than the FPV lens. That's bitten me a couple of times now where I've had a little crash and the GoPro lens gets shit on it but the FPV lens doesn't. And I just don't. If you have a crash, you got to come back and check the lens. If you're doing something like this, if you're just out flying freestyle, who cares, right? But for stuff like this, every crash you got to come back and check that the lens is clear. It's one of the kind of cool things about the O3 Air unit is that you're flying through the same lens that the HD is getting recorded. So if something like that was to happen, you would notice it through the FPV view. That might be a little one. He's finally interacting a little bit. I'm going to chop this one out just in case I need something with a left rotation from back behind him. I think that's where we're going to kill it. Let's keep going. Well, that was kind of cool, him like calling it over. Michael D says, do you mix the goggles, DVR, and action camera? No, never. I never even have the goggle DVR. Well, yeah, this is analog. I mean, I always forget to hit stop on the Fat Shark, so I never even have goggle DVR. But in a situation like this, I mean, yeah, the regular DJI goggle DVR is not nowhere near good enough for cinematic use. Nor is the O3 Air unit stuff. It's I don't know. I've heard a couple. Oh, sorry guys, I forgot to change the scene. I've heard a couple people saying that they think they're gonna start using O3 Air unit footage as their cinematic footage, and like the Avata footage as their cinematic footage. I'm like, I don't think it looks all that good, but yeah, we'll see. That's a pretty specific kind of hand motion. I would have to match that up with the lyrics, and I'm not going to do that because this is a different song, too. That's going to go. And all I'm doing is just dolly in, dolly out, which you can do with anything. All right, so now we're into hood hours. This might just all go away because we don't see him like put his hood up. And there's this, oh, see, that's, I mean, that has to stay in, I guess, but there's the fucking smudge on the lens. Come on now. Really? I mean, I'll keep it. I'll keep it, but I don't think it's gonna get used. Man, I mean, there's I think one of the things is there's just not much of him interacting with the camera, so like when he actually interacts, I'm kind of like desperately trying to save that stuff, not get rid of that stuff. But I don't think this is quite good enough, and that's a little awkward right there. That little exit is a little bit awkward on my part. I should have changed directions a little bit more crisply. But let's just hang on to this just in case. All right, let's keep going here. More hood hours. Ooh, I'm into that. That was a nice close pass on those rocks. Let's chop the beginning of this when we can't see him. And then, yeah, make sure I'm not accidentally getting rid of something here. Sometimes I'll forget to chop the end of the clip, and then if you just hit ripple delete, you'll lose the previous chunk. Yeah, it's a nice little, oh, the fucking smudge on the lens though. And then what's he up to? What's, cut it like right there. That's a quick little run. That's a cool run. Was he holding his phone? Oh, that's his phone now. Yeah, yeah. I see, now he's getting into it. I think the director is screaming energy, 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 energy at this point. The hood thing, I don't know. Yeah, I mean he's finally interacting. Yeah, we're gonna leave that. That's a nice little. We're gonna cut this out, I should say. There's a nice little. Yeah. All right, we're gonna leave that. We're gonna get rid of a bunch more. I'm not being quite ruthless enough yet. There's a bunch of these that are gonna go. But for right now, when we're trying to mix shit together, that was kind of interesting. So look on this, see how on this rotation I managed to actually get his hand perfectly in focus. I love doing this. It's really hard to get it just right, but I love doing this where you rotate, you yaw really hard and it blurs everything else out. But if you get the center point just right, you can actually keep hopefully their face, but in this case it actually kind of works because he's pointing his hand. Still nice and crisp. Unfortunately, I didn't hold it, right? We only have like blur, blur. We've got 1 frame, 2 frames, 3, 4, 5. Nah, just 4 frames where his hand is kind of nice and crisp, but it's a really cool look. And there's that nice pop at the end of it too that I could drop on like a beat. That's yeah, that could come in handy once I'm assembling. So I'm gonna cut this, I think right around here. Hold on. Yeah, no. We'll delete. Yeah, that's a nice little one that might need to get snuck in there somewhere. Ooh, that was a, man, it is hard to do this. It's really hard to do this right here. Ready? Ready? This elevation up and keeping their because you're pitching forward the whole time. So what you actually have to do to get that is you have to come in, if they're standing here, you have to come in low like this, and then you have to do that. But the problem, as you saw there, is you get up here, like you come in low and you generate a bunch of backwards momentum, and then you ride that up. But then once you get up to here, you've eaten up all that backwards momentum, and the quad just wants to go right into their face. It's a really cool look though, because it has that like crane, that crane up kind of vibe to it. See how his face went a little bit low in the frame? That's a shame. And then yeah, I got, you're generating that tilt forward, and you're gonna get a bunch of forward momentum before you know it. And I try not to like wail right above these guys' heads. I'm gonna keep this also because he's taking the jacket off. Well, he's unzipping the jacket, right? So that could be a nice, yeah, if I want to kind of show that. I hate cutting back and forth to like, the jacket's on, the jacket's off, the jacket's to the left, the jacket's to the right. Like, it's nice to, I don't know if it's actually storytelling, but it's more like maintaining your own continuity in a way. Let's bring it up here. I'll chop it around there. I think that might be the end of the battery. Looks like I'm coming home. There we go. All right, cool. So we got that all chopped out. This is all garbage, I'm assuming. Yeah. All right, cool. So we got that all chopped up. What's this? Some B-roll nonsense. What's this? All right. What the hell's going on? Where is this from? Well, now there's fucking smoke in the background. I think I put this all the way off to the right because I'm not going to use it because all of a sudden we're smoky as shit. Although maybe this could be the end of like this. Oh, this is not horizon locked now. I do want to show some stuff in this that's not horizon locked. All right, yeah, no, I have this off on the side just for kind of farting around. What was that, 676, and then that's 676. That's that file that I have in there already. All right, let me, so this is 7.5, 4 o'clock, good Lord. All right, we're gonna shut this down in a minute, but let me show you the other battery that I have. GX, smooth. So what do I have? 7.5, 7.8, 7.9. And then there's 7.5 smoothed. 7.6 smooth. And then 7. What? Did I not pull all the footage into the project on this one? Let's see. What do I got here? I've got 7.5, 7.6. And that's what we were just working with, right? Yep. And then, all right, so next one is 7.8. I think that's running down by the water. Oh, no, that's down here. Okay, yeah. This was a fucking mess, man. There was so much scraggle down there. Jesus. But there should be a couple of runs that are maybe okay. Okay, so that's 7.8. I guess, yeah, I just didn't pull that into the project yet. 7.5. Oh, there's 7.8. There's 7.8 without the smoothing now. So if I pull new footage in, it's going to launch Media Center and it's going to make proxies, and I don't know if that's going to make OBS upset. So I'm trying to just stick with what I have in here at the moment. 7.5, 8, 9. No, 9 is down by the water. Okay. But I didn't bring in the smooth version. Okay. All right. Well, you know, it's been 3 hours. 3 hours is a good amount of time for a live stream. This is when I start to get really like tired and cranky, and my voice will start to go, and I got a live stream tomorrow. I got a live stream tomorrow night. Tomorrow night at 10 o'clock Eastern time. Wait, no. Is Joshua not streaming tomorrow night either? Tomorrow night, 8 o'clock Eastern time. I think I'll be streaming. Let me see real quick. That's not how you type the word you. Joshua Bardwell. Does he have anything scheduled for tomorrow night? I don't think he does. Live. Nope. 8 o'clock Eastern time tomorrow night. I'll be back. Northern Tier says it's been fun as always. Thank you, brother. Yeah. See you guys tomorrow night, 8 o'clock Eastern. I'll try to do another 2 hours to make sure that folks that show up at 10 for the regular show aren't just like, hey, I'm here, and he's done. So yeah, see you guys tomorrow night. It is going to be a giveaway stream, so jump onto Patreon now, or else you'll miss out on maybe winning something. Don't miss out. CiottiFPV.com, join the Patreon, or bad things will happen. Enzel says, did you enjoy your streaming in JB's slot? No, I had to get up too early. Love you guys. Be good. Here comes some donkeys in the donkey. Intro. What is this? Oh, that's silly. What can I play for you? I'll play the what's gonna get uploaded to YouTube at some point from things. Be good, friends. I'll see you tomorrow night. Come on. Here we go. Later.